Dumelang Mosomontle. Good morning to you, my listener. I'm happy to have you listening to me this morning. I'm Nosi Poseabo. You can call me Nosi the girl. I hope you had a great and very fantastic weekend. Today on The Encounter, I'll be bringing you personal development and entrepreneurship straight from Raymond Mapena, also known as Ray Maps. I'll be taking it from where he started up until where he is right now, what he encountered during his journey, his challenges, and what he's still facing as an entrepreneur in Gaborone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Nosipo. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. I also like to say good morning to all the listeners out there. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, just tell us about yourself.
Okay. Okay, like you said, Nosipo, like you told the listeners at home, my name is Raymond Mapena, and I'm a public speaker. I speak mostly about entrepreneurship and personal development, and by doing that, I speak from my personal experiences, like the little experience that I've been through, all the challenges, everything that I've been through. I try to pass the message to other people, how they can make it and how they can overcome those challenges. So with the little experience that I have, that is basically what I do. Personal development and entrepreneurship.
Well, that was a great brief introduction about yourself.
Yeah.
I would like to say I've met Raymond on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, it was LinkedIn.
Yes, it was LinkedIn, and I thought what he had bringing to youth was just a great initiative. What was the motivation behind that?
Okay, so right now we are talking about Diamoko, our entrepreneurship and personal development platform.
Yeah.
So let me share my journey a little bit. How it started. Well, it started when I finished my Form 5. I knew inside of me that I had to do something great, that I was born to be great, but that I didn't know which field I was supposed to be great in. I didn't know my purpose.
Yes.
You understand? I was really confused. I passed my Form 5, and then I was getting, many opinions from different people about what I should study, what I should do.
Yes.
But that I knew, no, this is whatever they were telling me is not something that I really wanted to do. My sister told me that I should go and study something else, and then my mom said a different story. She sent me to different people to advise me, different career development experts and everything. And my dad wanted me to be a nurse because his reason was that after I finish my nursing, I'm going to be employed automatically by the government. I'm not going to suffer, the unemployment, or like what is happening to the youth right now. But then I knew that to me it wasn't about employment. It was about doing what I love. I was confused, and then I just went on to the University of Botswana. And then I went on I really wanted to study marketing, something to do with business, but then I ended up, marketing was not sponsored by that time. I ended up studying entrepreneurship and enterprise development. So along the way, I was practicing a lot of things. I was confused about what I should do. I really know why God created me. And that is something that I really wanted to find out about. You understand? So I sold many things. I started small businesses. Most of them, they failed. God, I didn't know which field of business, because kind of entrepreneurship is something that is broad. And you can just, sometimes you can just wake up and say, let's say, for example, let's Raymond navigate. I want to start a catering business. I know nothing about cooking. I know nothing about that. You understand? So when you start that, sometimes you find that it's easy for you to fail because it's something that you don't have, knowledge about it. You don't even have the passion for you to become a chef. So along the way, I started many business, failed, and it went on. So cutting the long story short, last year happened, the COVID-19. Most people, like entrepreneurs, even employees, they are complaining about COVID-19. But then COVID-19 to me, the lockdown era, I'll say to me, it was a blessing. It was a blessing because that was the time that I had kind of lockdown. I agree, how it was introduced.
Yes.
The lockdown, yeah, say. So by the time I think I was alone, I had to be alone during the lockdown. So by the time I got alone, that was when I spoke to God. I asked God questions. My God, what do you want me to do? What was I born to do? What was what was your intent for creating me? You understand? I read the Bible. I made my prayers. I read books about purpose. I did everything that I could for me to discover my purpose. And then one day, something inside of me told me, Raymond, God told me, Raymond, I want you to go out there and speak to the youth. I want you to go out there and inspire the youth. Most youth out there that are suicidal because they haven't yet discovered purpose for their lives. So the reason why I'm telling you this, the reason why right now I'm revealing to you what I want you to do is because I want you to also help the other youth out there who are unemployed, who are confused about their lives. And immediately I didn't linger. When God told me that, I remember I was alone. I also have a media company, so I had a camera with me. I took a camera and then I took videos of me passing some things and working. It had to do with purpose, passing inspiration to the youth. You understand? I took those videos and then I uploaded them on the internet. I made a YouTube channel at the same time. I started a Facebook page on the spot. I didn't waste any time on the spot. I started a Facebook page and then I started uploading, inspirational content, something that can really help people out there to discover who they are.
Oh, wow.
You understand? Yeah.
I'm seeing here the power of, having to know what you really want to do. You start right there. Yes, your purpose.
Yeah.
You start right there and nothing will stop you from doing it.
Exactly.
Tell me about the networking sessions. When was the first ever networking session you have ever hosted?
Okay, so I remember you only attended the networking sessions when they were happening at the Stambik incubator.
Yes.
It was nice. You
Very
remember?
fancy.
Yeah, it was fancy. It looked fancy, but that is not how we started.
Oh.
We started. It was really a tough journey. Lockdown. This one I miss you. I discovered my purpose during the time of the lockdown. I discovered it was confirmed inside of me that God confirmed inside of me that Raymond, this is what I want you to do.
Yes.
So really lockdown I started those networking sessions. So the restaurant I remember the first restaurant that you went to, it was in Magen Bean. I had few audience, I had something to share. I something was burning inside of me. I really wanted to say something to the people. I was really happy. I remember during Nagwa session, like a host. I remember guys, I used to come. I was scared. I was happy at the same time.
Imagine having to plan out an event and people don't turn out.
And people,
Yes.
that is something that I was afraid of. So if guys, it means event relax, we are coming. So we sat down and then I prepared something for them and then I shared with them and then we networked in a restaurant.
Wow.
That is where the networking session took place, and it was quite a challenge because restaurant even especially a restaurant that is busy. The waiters are calling for the orders, without the order numbers, mama, and then you guys are sitting down. You are trying to speak entrepreneurship, so it was quite difficult. So we moved from one restaurant to the other. If you say challenge, a few challenges like how I remember sometime in the restaurant we were waiting for other people to come to the session. We've been sitting in the restaurant. It was quite true. The manager came to me. No, we still waiting for some people.
Yes.
I was turned off that time, but then still, it's not something that I would say it could stop me. You understand? Because it was burning inside of me. And then also the other thing is that I also faced negative comments from people, especially people who are close to me. They didn't believe in the vision that I had.
I wanted to ask Jorge, one of the first people who were to attend your first networking session, were they your friends or people you didn't even know or have close contact with?
Okay, I to be honest, I didn't have the confidence to host people that I didn't know. So I called people that guys, I'm having a networking session. I want you guys to come. You understand? So that is how we move from one region to the other up until a friend of us told us of the fancy place that you went to.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. Yeah. So that is how Diamogo grew. I started hosting, different people. Imagine I was quite scared at some point because imagine standing. It was my first time. I didn't do public speaking in junior school. I didn't stand in front of assemblies speaking and everything. It was my first time. Some of them, they were even older than me, 30, 40 years old. Imagine standing in front of someone who's old. When I was reading through what is it that I can say to this person? But then, because it was something that God really revealed to me, I had the confidence to stand in front of them and speak.
Wow. Hey, we're back now. I just gave you a tune of Learn Rich, Do It To Me. This is UB Radio, the hub for creative media. I'm Nosi Posebo. I'm here on studio with a wonderful, lovely man this morning, Raymond Mapena. We're talking about entrepreneurship. You know, how has it been? You know, his challenges. You know, and all that. Yeah. So I think we should continue from where we left. I had one question that I'd spared for the moment after the song, and my question is, how has being an entrepreneur affected your family life?
Okay, yeah, being an entrepreneur, most of that, Tiamoko networking sessions, Tiamoko itself is a social enterprise. And also, I also have a company also called Raymaps Media. It's a media company. We do animation, photography, videography, video adverts, and social media marketing. So, as someone who's working, who's a student, and who also has a social enterprise, and who also has a company, I would say it has affected my family life in such a way that I'm always busy. I'm always busy. Sometimes, you know, get some time, go spend time with them. But then we tell again, every Saturday I have to go for something, maybe go for work, or I have to go for the networking sessions, or I have to go to my workplace or something like that. You understand?
Don't they ever complain?
They do complain, but then nowadays I've really worked on it, and it's something that I've been really improving on. So I've set a date that, you know, this Saturdays like this one, Saturday this one, I'm going to spend it with my family. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to just spend it with my family, or, you know, having food with them and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. How do you generate new ideas?
How do I generate new ideas?
Yes.
I would consider myself as someone, I have original ideas, of course. I have original ideas that came from me. But then I would say to the dear viewers out there that, you know, ideas are there. Our ideas are already there.
Yes.
They're already there. So what you can do, Anna, is to improve onto an existing idea. Someone came up with something. You just have to be someone who is researching. I research a lot. I read a lot. I read a lot of books. You know, I gain a lot of knowledge and everything. And then after that, you know, it helps me to improve on the ideas that already exist. You understand?
Nice.
So that is how I do it. Gaining knowledge and research.
Basically, reading expands your ideas.
Yeah, it expands my ideas. That is how I get my ideas.
How do you manage fear, and what is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear, it has nothing to do with Tiamoko. My greatest fear is like sinning against God. You know, having to do something, or maybe losing my salvation, or maybe not being in good terms with God. That is my greatest fear. You understand? So it's something because I might be doing those things. I might be an entrepreneur. I might be, you know, speaking to the people. But at the end of the day, these things, at the end of the day, I'm gonna die. So I have to know. I have to be sure inside of me, every moment of my life, that, you know, when I die, this is the destiny of my soul. This is where I'm gonna go. So I don't want to find myself you know, I'm in bad terms with God. That is like my greatest fear. That is something that I fear the most.
I think my greatest fear is not finding my purpose.
Yeah.
You know? Because I feel like each and every person is brought to earth to do something.
Exactly.
To help God's people to get from point A to point B.
Exactly.
You see.
Yeah.
So my greatest fear is not finding my purpose.
Not finding your purpose. Yeah. And then the other thing, to comment before you proceed, the other thing is that, you know, sometimes people are doing things, people are after money. People are doing things because they want money. But then the question is, are you fulfilled? How many celebrities right now are overusing drugs? How many of them right now are committing suicide? You know, those people, you find that they're not fulfilled inside of them. You know, they're having a lot of money, like entrepreneurs. They are respected at their workplaces, their CEOs and everything. But behind the doors, when they get into their room, they don't sleep, they cry all night because there's that you know, that's something, that voice inside of them that tells them, you know, this is not something that you are supposed to do.
True.
There's something else that you are supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Talking about that, what's your definition of success?
Definition of success.
Yeah.
I would say this is an, it's kind of a personal question. So I believe, you know, when you are someone of purpose, when you have a purpose, and then you tell yourself, you have a vision, you tell yourself, you set objectives, this is what I'm going to do for me to achieve or reach my objectives. After you've reached those objectives, that is the definition of my success. Like, for example, when I give you know, for me to be on radio right now, surprisingly, is something that I declared before.
Wow.
So I said to a friend of mine,
Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down,
Okay.
unfortunately. I didn't write it down. I said to my friends, like my team, I have team members. I have team members who I'm working with. So I said to them, you know what, guys, the session that I'm going to have, the last one that I had, it's either I'm going to TV or I'm going to radio.
Wow.
That is what I said. You understand?
Wow.
So that was the objective that I set. I declared it, and then it's happening right now. So that is like the definition of my success. I set an objective that has to do with my purpose, and I'm achieving it right now. I'm on radio, I'm speaking to you right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you believe there's some sort of pattern or formula becoming a successful entrepreneur, or it just happens?
Okay. Can you rephrase the question? I didn't know.
Do you believe there's some sort of pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur, or it just happens?
Oh yeah. Okay. So I wouldn't say entrepreneurship, becoming a successful entrepreneur doesn't come by luck. It comes by putting in the work. It comes by finding a problem that is there in the society that you can solve.
Yes.
Or it comes by maybe finding your purpose, for example. And then after that, you have to put in the work. Nothing just happens. Just things happens. You understand? So you have to wake up in the morning. You know, entrepreneurs, like when you hear stories of them, when you listen to them, they'll tell you, "Oh, no, I only sleep 5 hours. I don't sleep 8 hours. You know, I always work. I'm always making sure that I'm doing whatever that is necessary for me to achieve my vision or to achieve my goal." So it doesn't just come, the story, it doesn't just come, it doesn't just happen. The pattern that you have to follow is for you to put in the work, basically, to put in the work, to make sure that you are a go-getter, go out there and fight for what you believe in.
And consistency.
Yes. Consistency, commitment, they come with, you know, yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Okay, I'm someone who is always looking up to, you know, someone who is always looking up to challenges. Being an entrepreneur comes with challenges, so many challenges.
Yeah.
So those challenges, when they come, I believe it's my favorite aspect, because that is how I believe I get to grow. So when a challenge comes and then I solve it, after that, after solving a challenge. So I believe that is the way in working. I would say it's something that is really great about about being an entrepreneur. Yeah, solving those challenges.
Yeah. Talking about that, I would say my favorite part about being an entrepreneur is, you know, getting to learn new things and unleashing your potential.
Exactly.
Because as people, we get to have what we are best at, and that potential may help people, you know, also unleash their potential, like you are doing. You are making other people unleash their potential, which is a very good thing. What has to be your most satisfying moment in business?
Well, hey, what a question. You know, I don't like reaching a level of satisfaction, because that is where complacency comes from. So as an entrepreneur, if you reach a level of satisfaction, or no, I'm satisfied, you are never going to have the eagerness inside of you to fight for more. You know, entrepreneurs, they're never satisfied. For example, we have guys like Elon Musk. He's like, right now, I believe if he's the richest man in the world right now. Yeah. But those guys, he keeps on fighting. He has billions. That guy, because the money that they have, that money, even if he can leave everything right now, it can be able to sustain him up until he dies. And also it can be able to sustain maybe even his family. But me, he keeps on fighting. Why does he keeps on fighting? Because he doesn't reach a level in working. He'd say to himself, you know what, I'm satisfied. So as an entrepreneur, you always look for more. Right now, you're always hungry for more, for success and for more. You understand? I might be having right now the sessions. I might be, hosting different people, meeting different people. I've met, a whole lot of different influential individuals here in Botswana. But I wouldn't say I'm satisfied. I want to go out there. I want to meet, influential persons by the international, United States, people who are out there by I want to see them going even to the extent of going international, having sessions in the United States, hosting those sessions everywhere. So I would say I never really want to reach the level of satisfaction. Yeah.
Okay. So on that note, who's your greatest inspiration?
My greatest inspiration, I would say is the man who has died. He's dead.
Okay.
He died 2014. That man, Dr. Miles Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe. He left us with books and messages that really helped me a lot for me to discover who I am. You understand? So I would say whatever that he has left us, whatever the books that I'm reading right now, those are the books that inspire me a lot. Whatever that he has done, the legacy that he has left is even continuing right now. Even when someone is dead, you still see that his messages, they live on. His books, they live on, and are still changing lives. So that is the kind of work that I want to do. I also want to see myself, living this world. I don't want anything that I'm saying, anything that I speak or my ideas or anything to die. I want it to live on, even to the next generations. Because, one thing that I noticed that when you do things and then the things that you say and then you relate to with the word of God. Most of the time when I speak, I like quoting Bible verses and I like giving examples of what is coming from the Bible. Speaking about God and so on. Yes. So the reason why I love this is because the word of God doesn't die. Even if the generations in my words are still going to live on. Yes. Even if I can die right now, but then I wrote something it has something to do with the word of God and it's glorifying God's name. My words, they won't die. If I leave this recording right now and then I'm gonna upload it on YouTube, it's gonna be there and it's gonna touch the life of someone even after 50 years or 100 years to come. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of people who haven't yet found their purpose. What can you say to them?
Okay, I'd say to those people, when you haven't discovered your purpose, whatever that you're doing right now is in vain. You're wasting your time. It's kind of a waste of time because but at the end of the day, it's about you, it's about your fulfillment, it's about your happiness. There are people, I remember there's something that Bill Gates said, he had all the money, he had millions and everything, but then he would trade those things for peace. For peace inside of him. Yes. You understand? So even if you can have all the monies, you can get all the monies, be after all the monies and everything, but at the end of the day, it's about your happiness. Yes. I would trade everything, anything that I had, anything that I can get, even if it means me not getting something or getting some things, for me to have peace inside of me, I'll do that. And that peace, it comes about when I've discovered what I do or what I have to do, when I'm not abusing myself. Because if you do something that you're not born to do, you are basically abusing yourself. Yeah. You're abusing yourself. Right now, if what example can I give? If you got a microphone, as a cooking spoon, abuse a microphone. Yes. Microphone, it was used to capture sound and pass it somewhere. I get, but then when you're using it to cook, so when the manufacturer of that microphone, when he did it, he had an intention of what our microphone would do so your manufacturer, who is God, when he made you, when he created you, he had the intentions inside of him. I am bringing Nosipo into this world. I want her to serve in this field. And then one other will Nosipo, and then you decide to do something else. I would say that is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's gonna frustrate you. Yes, the world that we live in right now, for example, the other example that I can give is that the world that we live in, people are despising creative arts. Like, for example, how I want to become a photographer. What is he going to say to you?
Oh, sure.
o jo wa ta go dira
a wa go bona tiro
Wa
ha o
bona
hetsa
tiro,
wa go hirwa ke ma
Eh.
kore the question that's always amongst our parents is wa go hirwa ke
wa go
ma
hirwa ke mang
gona lore a wa go kgona go dira ditiro wa go dira kgona go direla ba bangwe ditiro e nna gore wa go hirwa
wa go hirwa ke mang e nna ganya bona wa sora go ntsa but then at the end of the day no sipo it's your life at the end of the day. Sadly, it's okay. Sadly, my mom one day is gonna die. That's one thing that I know. She's she's 60 years old now. What about her? Imagine right now, auntie, let's say maybe get some Raymond, some more nurse, and then I become a nurse. Let's say I'm gonna check 4 years, and then become a nurse, maybe go 26 years old.
Yes.
As a Raymond, I don't like seeing blood. Imagine every day I have to wake up, go to work. But then imagine if I have to live the rest of my life like that. Seeing blood, doing something that I don't love. I was influenced by a person. I can understand the thickest thing. My mom, you know what? My mom, this is what I want to become, and I'm gonna stand by it. I'm not gonna change my mind.
And I feel like that's one of the things they rona as youth repalla ke go bolela batsadi ba rona gore would rather dodge. They would think like let's say we come to school yana re dumalana kwa lapeng sentle or no, you are going to do medicine, it's fine,
yeah.
And then when you get to school akere kwa yana o feel and dipampiro signa you'd change or dodge out something else. Batsadi ba go bona ba ithare you are studying what you had agreed upon. Yes. So any last words to upcoming entrepreneurs, youth entrepreneurs, etc. Yeah.
Okay. My last words would be that people, they have to discover who they are. Like I said, my last words is all about purpose. Like I said, we have to know the intent for which God created you. You have to know the reason why God created you. At the end of the day, like I said, also it's about you. It's about you. You are going to get negative comments from, sadly, even from people who are close to you.
Yes.
Yeah, the naysayers that are going to tell you many things when you tell them about your vision. More especially, for example, imagine me saying to my mom, I want to be a public speaker. Most of the people, they don't get it what I mean. I want to become public speaker. I want to inspire people out there. They don't get it what I mean. For more respect to Ahela, for all I know is that I'm going to be respected if I become a lawyer or if I become a doctor, if I become any white collar career. You understand? So what I say to the people out there is that you need to sit down and discover who you are, discover the reason why God has created you, and one way that it can help you. No, let me not speak about it. I would invite them to the next Kiamuko sessions. Yeah. I'll give them my contacts, and then come into the session. I'll speak about it. I'll speak about purpose. I'll speak about how they can discover their purpose, and the ways that I did for me to be able to discover my purpose. So that would be basically my last words.
Okay. You can share your contact details, your social media pages, for more information.
Okay. For more information, those who want to contact me on Facebook, my page name is Ray Maps, RAYMAPS, Ray Maps, and then LinkedIn. Ray Maps is coming from Raymond Mapena. Even on LinkedIn you can find me. Even on Facebook, my personal account is Raymond Mapena, but then you can also find my pages. It's Ray Maps. LinkedIn also same thing, Ray Maps, and then my contacts 74121571. You can contact me there.
Okay. We are graced by Raymond Mapena this morning, and he mostly talked about finding purpose, which was a very great inspirational talk this morning. Thank you for coming, sir, to the studio.
Thank you so much, Nosipo, for having me. I would say that this was really a great platform for me, to be able to speak and express myself of my purpose.
Okay. Enjoy tunes of DJ Ganyani featuring Wonder Boy.